What is a thought? Are the materialists right that thoughts are part of the material world? Materialists say that thoughts are generated by an incomprehensible 100 billion neurons in our brain producing physical patterns of electricity.
We love our brains, but we're actually not that great at controlling our thoughts. Why is that? Well, it would help if we actually knew what a thought was. Really, there are only two possibilities. Thoughts are either part of the material world, like maybe patterns of electricity generated by the neurons in our brains, or they're not part of the material world, like there's some cosmic consciousness that spans the universe but that is completely undetectable by science. Yeah, let's go with option 1. We know our brains are made of neurons and that those neurons exchange electrical signals with each other anywhere from 20 to 1,000 times a second. And with around 100 billion neurons in a typical human brain, that's a lot of activity. But most of it never rises to the surface to become a conscious thought. A lot of that subconscious activity is just the brain making sense of the various inputs it gets from the world. This is just raw perception, like the automatic light that switches on when you walk into a room. But how is perception different from thought? Well, for one, we can think about things that aren't immediately in front of us, like that sandwich you had for lunch an hour ago. But we can also think about things that we can't actually see directly, like the event horizon of a black hole, or the internet. And we can even think about things that can't really exist at all, like a perfect circle. So somehow thoughts originate and stick around in our brains. But how? Well, the short answer is we don't know.
Or are the spiritualists right that thoughts are not a part of the material world? Spiritualists say that thoughts are part of the mystery of cosmic consciousness and are incomprehensible to those who lack higher clairvoyance.
What is thought, and how does it show itself? Those who have even a superficial acquaintance with theosophical literature are aware that man possesses a vehicle corresponding to each of the interpenetrating worlds of our solar system, that his astral body is the vehicle of his desires, passions, and emotions, and that his thought expresses itself through that higher vehicle of still finer matter, which we usually call the mental body. It is in this latter vehicle that thought first shows itself to the sight of the clairvoyant, and it appears as a vibration of its matter, a vibration which is found to produce various effects.
While thinking seems to be unknowable to the materialists and beyond mere human consciousness by the spiritualists, it doesn't have to be. We can learn about thinking by using the method of science, empirical research. By recalling past series of thoughts introspectively, we can discuss thinking in rational and secular terms. The study of thinking and the higher levels of consciousness it can reach does not depend on research into the physiological basis of thinking, nor does it depend on knowing vague spiritual terms or practicing ancient religions. There is no substitute for experiencing thinking directly. When we observe our thinking directly, we find it to be transparent and clear. It is irrelevant how one material process in my brain causes or influences another while I am carrying on a process of thought. What I observe in studying my thoughts is not which process in my brain connects the concept of thunder with the concept of lightning, but my reason for bringing these two concepts into a relationship. Introspection shows that in linking thought with thought, I am guided by the content of the thoughts, not by material processes in the brain. Many people today find it difficult to grasp the idea of pure thinking and function instead out of lower consciousness. The pure thinking of higher consciousness takes place purely within thought. We connect thought with thought, guided by the content of our thought. Whoever cannot transcend the materialism of the lower consciousness lacks the ability to enter into the exceptional state of pure thinking.